Good morning. Running just a tad late this morning, trying to get ready to get up the church and finish the wall for the downstairs basement activities. But got to thinking about the presence of God in our lives. I'd like to read you a passage from Psalms 139. It says, O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You understand that my thoughts afar off. You comprehend my path and my lying down, and you are acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word on my tongue, but behold, Lord, you know it already. You have hedged me behind and before, and laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot obtain it. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the utmost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall be light about me. Indeed, the darkness shall not hide from you, but the night shines as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to you. Wonderful passage to understand that God is always there, especially when we need him. His presence is continual and complete. There's a little illustration that I found concerning the presence of God. It's entitled, Mothers Bring Peace During Crisis. Cindy Holmes is a writer and pediatric nurse in Houston, Texas. She wrote an article about a mother and child she got to know at the hospital who were both suffering from full-blown AIDS. The child, Tyler, was born infected with HIV. From the outset, he had been dependent upon all kinds of medical treatment. Sometimes he needed supplemental oxygen, but Cindy said it didn't slow him down. He was all boy, a little dynamo. He frequently raced through his Houston neighborhood with a little backpack on that held medication he had to take. Sometimes he would pull an oxygen canister in a little red wagon, radio flying wagon, but that didn't slow him down. Off he would go through the neighborhood playing like children play. Cindy Holmes got to know them best when they were confined to the hospital in the last stages of their illness, when they both were dying. When it became obvious to Tyler's mother that he was probably going to die first, she decided she'd better talk with him about what was going to come next. She pulled him up into her bed, and they talked about life, love, and fun. Then she brought up the topic of heaven. She said, you know, Tyler, I was kind of hoping that you'd do your growing up here, but the doctors say your body is telling them that they might want to move on and grow up in heaven. She continued, you know, I've made a decision. Tyler asked, what's that, Mama? I've decided that if you're going to live in heaven, I'm going to do that too, because wherever you are, that's where I want to be. A few days later, Cindy Holmes was in Tyler's room. She said he looked up at her and said, Miss Holmes, will you do me a favor? Cindy said, sure, Tyler. What do you need? He said, when I die, will you put a red shirt on me? Cindy answered, Tyler, why do you want me to do that? Tyler explained, well, I'm going to grow up in heaven, and I've been told it's fun over there. I'm going to have friends and I'm going to play. But my mama is going to come over there too, and she's going to be looking for me. And if I'm real busy and don't see her coming, I want her to see me. So it's real important that I have on something that she can see. She would you give me a red shirt? Tyler looked up from his bed and continued, you know, heaven won't be heaven without Mommy. Cindy Holmes said I was overwhelmed by this inexpressible sense of peace that was on his face, even at a time of inexpressible crisis. And suddenly I understood where it was coming from. His peace was the result of his mother's presence with him through his life, throughout his illness, and her promise that no matter where he went, no matter what happened, she would still be there. That's what God is. He's always there. He will still be with us, even through the worst crisis in our life. Trust in him, folks. He knows our every being. God bless you. Have a good day.